Okay, live. Hello, everyone. What is going on? If everyone can just drop the suns, moons, stars chat. If everyone can drop no, I think from sun. I hear myself like three. I'm on that. We're gonna have some fun. We got 230 people in here right now. Anyone interested in learning more about Star Atlas, the Metaverse NFTs? Going. Just to kind of kick everything off, I'm gonna let the Star Atlas team introduce themselves. So starting with his spacesuit, and we'll just work our way down.
What is up, Austin? Good morning, man. Good to be here.
Who are you, Michael?
Who am I? That's a great question. I think if you follow me on Twitter, it's my messaging there is that I'm trying to escape reality. So I am, along with two of the other co-founders on the call today. I'm co-founder, CEO of Star Atlas. Been in this space for a long time. Got into currency in 2013. Have spent a lot of time building businesses here. Had a previous company called the Tokes platform in 2016. I was fortunate enough actually to work with both Jacob and Michael back on that project. And so, yeah, we've been building businesses and companies here for a while. Came up with the idea of Star Atlas in mid 2000 and believe it's truly transformative and is going to radically change not only the play games, but the way that people perceive various aspects of socialization, of politics, and of economics.
Awesome. And it looks like we are dropping some frames. People are saying it's getting kind of choppy, so we'll keep rocking with this, and let me see what I can do on my end to improve that. But I think in the meanwhile, Pablo, if you want to introduce yourself, I'm going to try and get this working a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Austin. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Love seeing the room continue building in. Share this stream with your friends. But in short, my past 5 years, I won't go all the way back to my mother's womb because that's a longer story that I can share later if you'd like. But yeah, 5 years building out the supply chain in the cannabis industry, integrating software and hardware, and developing processing facilities over the world. So in that period, I spent a lot of time working with researchers, scientists, biologists, neuroscientists, formulators, all to bring API products to the market. That's pharmaceutical grade cannabis extraction and also consumer grade for adult use in the US. From there, jumped into building out psychedelic assisted psychotherapy telehealth solutions that are actually active right now in the US, in particular ketamine assisted psychotherapy. Star Atlas is a place that we can build parallel universe to have high impact with billions of people. And that's what we think about every single morning. And I just get excited by working with Michael Liu, Jacob, Danny, and the rest of the 65 Atlassians in our company because we're all problem solvers and we're looking to really build transformational experiences for everyone around us. So thanks for having me on, COO and co-founder, and the coffee guy.
Wait, y'all have 65 people? What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We're still in single digit engineers, but we have so many
and we are hiring engineers. Little plug there.
Right, yeah. But some of the best artists in the world coming to join the Star Atlas project. It's awesome.
Love it.
I think Michael's just sick of putting 20 hours a day in, so
yeah,
we could probably use some support on that side.
If there's a link for people to apply, drop that in the chat. I'm sure there's tons of people in here who would love to work in Star Atlas. So we'll drop a link in the chat if you're interested in learning more about that. So I guess Michael, Jacob, whoever wants to go next.
Sure. I'll do a quick intro. I've been working in the crypto space since the early Ethereum days, like 2015, when it really started to catch hold, with a huge focus on Web 3.0 development. We're moving into a totally new era with this decentralized computing. Solana's really breaking new ground, and we're kind of growing with it. Star Atlas is an amazing use case for this technology. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting hour. We're going to go into a lot of cool details with a presentation we got lined up. So very cool.
Yep, and I'm the second Michael on the call, Michael Liu. We have a third. We decided not to bring him just because it would be a little confusing, and we are hiring Michaels specifically if just to grow that aspect of our company. But I'm the technical lead on the Star Atlas engineering team. Been working in software development for a few years now, and particularly have worked in the DeFi space with these guys before on some of their past projects, like already mentioned. I've also been a consultant for some of the larger consulting companies internationally. So do we want to just get into things, Austin, or,
Yeah,
or
let's
do
rock
we have
and
any
roll.
other
We're sitting at like 285.
formalities?
I really want to break 300. So if you're watching this and
All right.
anyone you care about likes NFTs, the metaverse, gaming, any of that, share the link because I really want to break that 300. I think before we jump into this real quick, Michael, I wanted to cover the recent NFT drop and kind of dig into that a little bit. I think I've had a lot of questions about that, and I think Michael and Pablo both probably, and anyone else from your team probably has some good insight and just want to take a few minutes to talk about the rebirth and what y'all did with that.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
give me the quick overview. What is rebirth? Why should people care? Why is it so badass?
Yeah, sure, man. Let me do it. Let me do two things. First, just a very high level overview of what Star Atlas is. So we are a space-themed MMO video game and metaverse concept being built on the Solana blockchain. What we really differentiate ourselves as is, first and foremost, we aren't really a product of the blockchain gaming niche. We are actually developing this out to AAA quality standards. So we're building this game in Unreal Engine 5. When that becomes available, it will deliver true cinematic quality in-game, rendered in real time, is fully immersive, three-dimensional depth, and VR ready. So when you are navigating the stars, when you're out exploring space, it will feel like you are truly there. You are truly encompassed in the metaverse. So the general mechanics are space exploration, territory control, political conquest, all wrapped in the grand strategy genre. And the second component of where we differentiate ourselves is enhancing that AAA gaming experience with blockchain financial incentives and mechanics. So starting with true asset ownership for players by incorporating NFTs for virtually every asset in the game, including ships and crews, components, the virtual land that you can own, the buildings and structures that go on that land, space stations. Virtually everything you see in space is an NFT and can be owned by the player, which is extremely empowering for the gamer. And then on top of that, we have two crypto native assets. We have Atlas, which is our in-game transactional currency. It's effectively the in-game gold in Star Atlas. And we have Polis, which is our take on a governance token. Now, Polis has a dual purpose itself. Within the game universe, there's a strategic component wherein players that control regions of space politically have certain influence that they can exert. So they can impose taxes on other players. They can define some degree of rules and laws and fines and fees in the microeconomy that they control. And then outside of the game, we are enabling the holders of Polis token to be able to influence our development decision-making process in the longer term. So holders will actually be able to vote on economic decisions, on asset release schedules, on feature development, on product requests. They'll be able to submit these requests to us. We'll incorporate that feedback and we'll release these features going into the future. Just super quickly on the metaverse concept, because that can be a very deep rabbit hole. Metaverse is essentially an alternative virtual reality within which a person can persist. And so essentially we are developing this game out with a robust economic model that is self-sustaining. We are allowing people to come in, build within the metaverse, create value for themselves, create their own businesses for themselves, find alternative paths to generate revenue within the game that are outside of the economic model and gaming framework that we've developed out. So this is very long-term vision. Metaverse, the true metaverse is probably 5 to 10 years away at least. But we have a pretty healthy roadmap ahead of us, which is where we'll get into Rebirth, which is our very first product that we've released to market. It's a 14-week campaign of digital art meta posters. The meta posters are multimedia digital art that is coupled with audio soundscapes in collaboration with mainstream musical talent. So on the first two posters, we've partnered with Blondish to produce the underlying track. And then on the first poster, Jason Silva, a well-known futurist, produced a voice overlay.
Real quick, Michael, while we're talking about these, do you actually have a demo of them in your deck? Michael Liu?
Yeah, we're gonna show a demo of the app.
Oh, okay. They have like a full
that.
presentation for y'all. Ignore me then. They took this serious. Continue on.
There's no fun in our camp, Austin. We're very serious. Yeah, so in terms of roadmap, we've produced this art collection. As I said, it has audio soundscapes on every piece of art. It also is accompanied by augmented reality viewing experiences to give you that true immersive three-dimensional depth with animation. So the idea is to introduce you to the background and the lore of Star Atlas through this process of unveiling one poster each week for 14 weeks. That process will take us right up until July. Now, our intended roadmap is to deliver a mini game model, which is an in-browser experience, sometime in late July or early August. And the mini game, while not built in Unreal Engine and not the true three-dimensional vision that we have, it does allow players to engage in gameplay, engage in ship missions, build out land, build out structures, and probably more importantly, start earning actual revenue off of the game itself. And that comes through a variety of mechanisms, whether it be through, as I said, mining, operating orbital space stations, flying ship missions, or alternatively, staking assets and also participating directly in DeFi, which we have built integrated directly into the game UI itself. So being able to participate in liquidity pools, participate in AMMs, and then one of the very promising features that we're looking into is lending pools for these assets, wherein players that own the underlying NFTs but aren't using them have the ability to contribute them to a pool. Another player who perhaps can't afford them or just doesn't own the assets and wants to use it for part-time, they are able to rent it or borrow it from another player, pay a fee, and actually engage in gameplay. We're creating a true sharing economy within the metaverse that is Star Atlas, and creating residual income streams for the asset owners and opportunities for the people who don't own the assets. So that's high level where we're at and where we're going this year. Sometime next year, we're shooting to release our pre-alpha version of a shipyard module, which is very limited kind of in functionality, but it is built out in Unreal Engine. People will be able to go walk in three-dimensional space on a space station, view their ships, view their assets, configure their ship, and really start to get a sense of what the longer term experience is going to be like.
And guys, you can tell by Mike's webcam, we're already on the way to the moon.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get out of the metaverse before this call this morning, so I'm
taking it from space. I have like 8 million questions, but it seems like Michael Liu is very prepared, so I'm gonna just shut up and let him kind of run with this. So
yeah, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. We're probably going to leave about 10 minutes open for those of you in Twitch for Q&A at the end. So as you're watching this, come up with your questions. Let us know what they are as we go. We'll be making notes of them for those of us who are in the chat. And we'll answer as many of them and as thoroughly as we can at the end. So that was agenda item number 1. So let's move on to 2. So what are we doing at Star Atlas? All right, so this isn't news to most of you in chat. This is Twitch, right? But in traditional video games, really players don't own their assets. You don't own your in-game items. I can think of 2 obvious examples off the bat, from MMOs. World of Warcraft. When you're in that game, you play, you earn gold, but really the gold that you earn isn't yours, right? There's obviously value to the gold because there's RMT, real money trading. You can go to eBay and buy someone's account for $1,000 or however much they're going for these days. But you don't really own these items. And what makes it worse is that the items in these games are one-to-one tied with the game servers. So if your World of Warcraft server is down, if your Path of Exile server is down, number 1, you can't play the game. Number 2, you don't have access to your things, so basically you have no experience. This is the problem that we recognize at Star Atlas, and this is what we're trying to solve with DeFi and with blockchain technology. So really what we're trying to do, as Michael Wagner touched on very eloquently, is to create this online metaverse and allow players to essentially have their own Ready Player One experience, where the time you spend in game is rewarded directly with items that have real value, that real fiat value. So real value in fiat currencies, and can be traded seamlessly with other players, regardless of whether or not the game servers are online. The beauty of it is since everything is an NFT, you can trade these regardless of whether you're in the game, in browser, or anywhere. And we're going to touch a little bit on more of the ways that you can actually access your items and interact with them in a couple of other slides. Jacob, did you have anything to add to this slide before I move on?
No, just that this is kind of a glimpse into, I think, what the future of gaming is going to be like. Games are going to feel hollow that don't have these, this type of asset ownership involved with all the in-game items.
Yeah. Can we actually expand on that topic a little more? Because I think, at least for me personally, that's one of like the most interesting things, that you can get assets within Star Atlas and then monetize from them by selling them on like open marketplaces, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're going to touch on this topic kind of spread throughout the rest of the slides. But to touch on that just a little more, essentially what this means is that Star Atlas doesn't control the items in your inventory. Once you have this NFT in your wallet, it's yours, and you have complete control over it. Whether it's on our application, if it's on other parts of the chain, wherever, that token is yours. And it really empowers the player themselves and takes away that the centralization of that the control there.
We are breaking down the walled garden approach that is common in traditional gaming now. Where
exactly.
Actually, intentional restrictions on your ability to sell assets. We're doing the complete opposite. We are actually empowering the player. In fact, the one thing that I didn't touch on with our marketplace, where we're selling the Rebirth collection, is that is built entirely on chain. We are using Serum DEX as the protocol to process payments. So, the idea is that through our NFT marketplace, peer-to-peer transactions are not only feasible, but they're encouraged. And players will also be able to purchase directly from us those game assets that we create. So,
right. Yeah. A good example of that is with the current poster sale, which I'll give you a demo of later. But we're doing this initial sale for these posters for 1 week. And then after that, it's completely an open marketplace, peer-to-peer. We're not involved anymore. Our hands are off of that. And so I understand that you guys in Twitch, we have a bit of a mixed audience here. There's some of you guys who are huge crypto heads who understand what's going on. And then some of you who are just straight up, gamers like me who are just excited about the concept. So I'm going to go over some details here that some of you are already familiar with. Bear with me on that. So how is this possible, right? That's really the question that a lot of people have for me once I kind of sell them the elevator pitch of what we're doing. And it's really with these NFTs, the big buzzword that's going around the crypto space right now. An NFT essentially is just a token, just like Bitcoin. We're using NFTs on the Solana protocol. This is where we are on Twitch. And essentially what it is NFT stands for non-fungible token, and it means it's indivisible. So instead of having half of a Bitcoin like you could have with Bitcoin, or half of an Ethereum, or 0.1 Ethereum, an NFT is a single entity, it's indivisible, and there can only be multiples of it that are indivisible. So you can only have 1, 2, 3 integer values of NFTs. You can't have like 1.5 or 0.1 of an NFT. What this means is it enables the virtualization of real goods and services that was never before possible. So with these NFTs, because they're cryptocurrency based, you essentially have the ability to prove that the thing that you own, this NFT, is the item that's associated with it. It does have the value that it has, and you can trace it through the system over time. So what to us? DeFi, by the way, on the slide there stands for decentralized finance. But what this means is you don't need a bank to move your NFTs around. You don't need to really trust anybody to move your NFTs around, because the blockchain is taking all of that into account, and it's handling it for you. We're leveraging Serum and Solana to do this, just because of the sheer number of advantages there surrounding it. Solana is capable of supporting 50,000 transactions per second plus, which, you know, for a video game is kind of a must-have. And Serum is enabling us to create the markets for our NFTs and to facilitate easy trading of them with players in a secure way. So really, the next question people have when I'm talking about NFTs is, you know, how are you selling digital tools? How does that even work? And the answer is, it's just like any type of art in real life, right? So what makes a piece of art in real life, or what makes an item in real life valuable? Most of the time, you know, let's take a book, for example. Anybody can write a book. Anybody can put 100,000 words down and you know, publish it, get it off to a publisher and ship it. What makes it valuable is the way they write those words and the community surrounding it, and then the value of that book itself through the story you're telling. And that's what we're doing with our NFTs, is we're creating an online metaverse and digital, a real game surrounding our NFTs, and that gives them the value that is both real and tangible. So I think that's pretty. I kind of jumped around my bullet points here, but that's essentially what I wanted to touch on for this. Is that this is the future. What we're working with here. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Why be able to start my own permaculture farm and just like sell crops to in a virtual farmer's market in space and just like
in our game?
Because that sounds great.
You know, we're open to feedback and suggestions. So
let me expand on that just a little bit,
sure,
Austin. So this kind of gets back into the Metaverse concept. So when we first introduced the game, I kind of explained this as like a bubble within a bubble. And when we first launched the video game, the bubble that is the video game concept and framework is effectively identical to the size of the bubble of the Metaverse. However, over time, that internal bubble that is the video game, that are the features that we developed to the world, will get smaller in size relative to the Metaverse bubble, the outer shell. The outer shell is going to continue to expand. Are you laughing at me because I'm in space? Or
someone in the comments asked, "Do you have a realistic modeling career simulator planned?"
You're gonna be a millionaire.
I actually don't know how to respond to that. We do have career paths in the game, though. But the idea is to provide people with the opportunity to create their own careers outside, again, of the gameplay mechanics. So think of us as the toolkit that people can use to create opportunities for themselves. And one of the examples that I cite often is the ability to say, just own virtual land on a space station and use that to create an art gallery. And that art gallery, it houses curated digital NFTs that whoever owns the gallery, you know, sourced, and then they have the opportunity to resell those in the game to other players. Now, this isn't a gameplay mechanic that we've created. It's simply an opportunity because the sandbox exists for them to be able to do that. So, and then one other cool example that I cite is on something like in-game concert series. You know, we'll have musical performances in-game in VR that people can attend. And let's say, for example, that you don't own a spaceship in Star Atlas. But the event is on some distant planet. Well, you need a way to get there, right? So now somebody can actually take their cargo hauler, they can load it up with a bunch of people, charge them $5, and take them and drop them off at the concert. You know, again, not necessarily a mechanic that we've specifically introduced, but an opportunity that we've introduced for to be industrious in the game. So, you know, to your question about being able to create a farm and sell on the farmer's market, that's absolutely the type of thing that we want you to be able to do if that's what you want.
Yeah, I personally think that's one of like the coolest aspects of this, is that you're able to create an entire career here in the metaverse, and it allows folks to grow and thrive and monetize off of their gameplay, where in traditional markets you provide your time and in exchange you get what are essentially useless rewards. I mean, I'm sure there's some type of sensors in your brain going off when you get something cool, but you can't monetize off of it. And this allows you to actually be rewarded with actual cash flow for the time that you allocate to the game. And like that's like really, really cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Listen, games are fun. I don't want to diminish how fun games are. I've sunk like 2,000 or 3,000 hours into Path of Exile, but at the same time, like we want our players to have that fun and get rewarded with real tangible value at the same time. That's persistent. Super exciting. What's next? Oh, let's show you. We're going to show you kind of how how this is working. So how are we delivering this to players technically? So this is going to get a little more into the engineering side of things. Essentially, on the blockchain, you've got like this infinite number of tokens, right? And if you look at the bottom right green rectangle, that's play.staratlas.com, play.staratlas.com, play.star. Just kidding. But that's where we're gonna have our online mini game.
Michael, were you trying to repeat that 3 times? Just
I was doing the marketing thing, yeah. But essentially, so let's take a poster in this example. So the poster assets are the image itself. The poster assets include the audio, as well as the AR experience, so the QR code for the AR experience. That combined with a market on Serum, we feed into our metadata API, which in turn goes to the player. And what this does is it allows us to get all of this data associated with our posters consolidated and piped to the player, and that's how we're delivering delivering the experience right now. In an ideal world, to be honest, we wouldn't have that middle layer there, the metadata API. That kind of is a little more centralized than we'd like, and we're constantly exploring solutions to eliminate that, eliminate not just that, but that and other layers which are a little less decentralized. But this is essentially how we do it with the NFTs. Jacob, do you want to go into any more detail at all on the data flow here?
No, I mean, well, okay, so Solana is emerging tech. I mean, you guys have that little beta suffix at the end of your mainnet moniker, which I actually don't think needs to be there. I think it's really far along. But anyways, the new solutions are being added. We see things coming through the pipeline that are directly applicable to our project, and we're anticipating to leverage those as well, as soon as we can get our hands on it. In particular, like these on-chain NFT metadata protocols that are being built, we would pick that up right away. Like being able to name your token on-chain and maybe add some other arbitrary data onto it is super appealing to us. So, yeah.
But essentially, this isn't necessary at all. I just want to make sure that from a top level view, this is necessary. We don't need the metadata API. This is just like our way of delivering the information to us, concisely. I think what we have next is the demo. Yeah, let's do that. So how do I exit out of this? Oh, hold on. Exit full screen. All right, so play.starless.com.
This is by far the most structured Twitch stream I've ever done, by the way. So, like, kudos to you, Michael Liu, for this.
Hold on, I think my keyboard died.
Uh-oh. I spoke too soon.
I plugged it in, don't worry.
Look at his Google history.
Just wait until Michael Liu brings out the cornbread. You haven't seen anything.
What have you been Googling?
Play.starless.com. What was my Google history? Hold on, let's look at that. So, Solana Hackathon. Wait, this is different. It's changed.
Yeah,
This is good. What do we
Guys,
got?
you can't look at this bottom one. This bottom one, you can't put fonts into Google Slides. Okay, these aren't fonts, and it pissed me off last night when I was putting this together.
Yes.
Anyway, off to play.starless.com. So,
why were you doing it last minute? It wasn't because we told you about this on Wednesday, was it?
No, it wasn't that at all. Not that at all. All right, so to give you guys a short, this is where the full mini game is going to live eventually. Currently in progress and is just home to the Rebirth event, which is what we're calling the poster series. Eventually here, we're going to just to paint a picture of the future. We're going to have a 3D visualization of the entire Star Atlas metaverse, all the planets, all the claims. You're going to be able to navigate that in 3D. It's going to be super cool. You're going to have ships that you can buy here and configure in the application. And you're going to have mining equipment you can configure, space stations you can configure, all sorts of cool stuff here, ship missions. Right now, that's all in the pipeline. It's in works. It's behind locked doors right now because the dev team is working hard on it night and day. And the so now as we're doing this Rebirth event, which I won't take you through, but if you wanna contribute to the game and kind of get some of the items ahead of time, you can. This was our first poster. You can see official sale is now over, and we have a secondary market. Sorry, this is because I'm running my miner. There's a nice 3D view of this going, but my GPU is unhappy at me right now. But what we have here is posters are each an NFT, as we've been discussing, and we have a full screen view of them as well as an augmented reality experience. So if you come in here with your phone, you scan one of these QR codes with your regular phone camera, and it'll take you to either your Instagram or Facebook apps, and then you can come in here and experience the AR. There's also the
right
music
now
tracks
if you
as
don't
well.
own the NFT.
Yeah, and the AR experiences, we're not gatekeeping that at all. We want people to
Could
have
we throw
fun.
that
This is
QR
super
code back
cool.
up for like 10 seconds? Let people scan it real quick.
Sure.
Anyone on stream, like get out your phone
Yeah,
and scan
yeah.
it.
So if you guys are watching right now, scan the left one Instagram, right for Facebook, and it'll actually, you'll be able to see this work in real time. And then tag Star Atlas on Instagram,
Yeah.
and maybe they'll give you something. We didn't plan this, so I'm just throwing that out for them. But no, yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. Actually, let me see if this works.
It should. This one's super cool. I won't spoil the effect, but I really like this one.
And the audio
Oh,
track,
hell
I don't
yeah!
know if
It
it's
prompts you to pull up Instagram. Hold on.
All right, I'm giving everyone in Twitch like 15 more seconds to find your phones.
And then you have to switch over.
Right. Yeah. All right, I'm
Yeah.
switching over to the main
Pull
view.
up like the filter on Instagram, and then we'll pull up. Yeah.
So if you full screen this on Twitch, if you've got your filter open, you got to find the, and you should get the AR experience, no problem.
That is so cool.
Is it working for you, Austin?
Yeah.
Michael, do you want to
Nice, dude.
the sound too?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sharing sound or not. Can you guys hear this?
I don't think it would go through, but
Yeah.
No,
But-
I don't think it'll do
track
it.
is
though.
amazing.
You gotta visit the site play.starless.com. You gotta visit the site to to get the full experience. But this track is
really
super cool.
That's so cool.
My favorite track is the one actually releasing tomorrow for the third one, the third poster. It's a really good track. I'm digging it a lot. It's something I would listen to just on the regular.
Good question here, because this is something I've talked about people a lot. Is do the posters have any utility within the game? So like, what can you do with these NFTs once you have
Right.
them?
Michael Wagner, do you want to take a stab at that?
Yeah. So again, just to emphasize, the posters themselves are not in-game assets. These are purely cosmetic items. This is really just an opportunity for people to part of history, right? So in fact, like if you had the opportunity to purchase and own mint condition posters from the original series, would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Right. We think of ourselves as doing something that's truly transformative and historical for the gaming industry, for crypto, and genuinely for the entire world when we get into like, how people in the metaverse can monetize their time. So this is just for you to capture that piece of history. We do offer bonus drops of in-game items with various posters and poster tiers. So collecting the posters, I will stress you must own every poster from 1 to whichever tier level you want to reach. You have to own all of the posters from the beginning to that tier level to loot box drops. But there's substantial in-game value when you purchase the posters. But this campaign is truly about the digital art. So,
What are the two breakdowns?
We'll have you.
I can navigate that if we're done with the NFT experience of the AR. I think everyone's had a chance, right? Hopefully. All right, go to play.starless.com if you.
Yeah. Just a final thought on that is that the art will be visible and viewable on your ship, in your captain's quarters, in your habitat in the game, in museums that exist in the game. It will be viewable, but it doesn't. Mike over here with the.
No, that's pretty much it. I don't want to like step through all the bonus tiers. Maybe just the first one. So the first bonus tier 0, you get for just purchasing that or owning that first poster at the end of the rebirth event. And it gives you some, besides the poster itself being a collectible and exclusive, you're going to get some rewards like this pure spike, an exclusive skin, and some other things like that. So as you go through the tiers and continue to collect the posters, and you're going to these as well, which I because that's how Empire. On the site itself, I can show you my inventory. So what I'm going to do here is connect to my Solong wallet. To connect your wallet, guys, you just click on this button down here. You're going to need to have one of these wallet providers already configured. It's a really painless process. The Solid one is pretty easy. It's a couple of clicks. Once you connect, it shows you the posters that you own, and you can see that I actually own 4 Discovery of Iris and 1 of the Heart of Star Atlas. Speaking of which, let's look at this experience as well. I won't go into the, I won't stay on the, there's a bug there. I'll stay on the AR view for that one. Let's see if it works this way.
Dude, don't use so long.
But this one is different. There's like an animated ship in the background. This fires an AR. Get out on your own. I don't want to spend too much time here. But yeah, so I can't remember what it was. If I remember it, I'll get back.
Before it's gone. Not financial.
Well, oh, that's actually, yeah, you reminded me. So these are limited. So the official proposed one is now sold just over 10,000 of them. So what that means now is that it's only players trading with players. We're never going to mint any more of these. And the market for that, the economy for that is low. So it's now completely a player traded economy. We're not controlling it at all.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever that. I think it's like 10,400 and something. I can't exactly remember the.
We are also selling on the OpenSea marketplace. So there was another 150 that were sold, but we're actually really proud of the fact that 99% of the posters were sold through our marketplace on Solana using Serum. Yeah. 10,350 posters approximately sold on our marketplace. Another 150 on OpenSea.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the number. This is the ones.
The stream again.
People. All right.
Hold on.
Is
Brain lag?
No, it might
Austin, we need to upgrade your internet, man.
Yo, I have the best that Comcast will give me. I was like, I got a family of 25 and we're all gaming and on the computer at the same exact time.
Family of 25.
Give me what you
can. The chat is saying to turn off your mining machines, man.
I went from having gigabyte in SF, which was like 1,000 up and down, and Comcast is like, we can give you 200 up and like 500 down, and I was like,
no,
that is ridiculous. Hold on.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Hold on. I think it's
watching the stream.
I think it's good again now.
Okay. Well, let's hopefully their compression algorithm does better with the slides as opposed to me navigating all around.
Yeah, people yell at us again, but it looks like we've stopped dropping frames. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, but so to get back into it, on our marketplace, these are numbers for our marketplace at play.starlist.com. We sold just over 10,000 of that first poster, Discovery of Iris. As of last night, when I was making these slides, we sold about 3,800 of the Heart of Star Atlas, the second poster. That number's more now. And as of this morning, what that means for our company and the future of Star Atlas is we've made 1.15 million plus revenue in about 12 days. Really exciting that this essentially just enables us to develop the game and really fulfill the vision that we've been chasing. And I'm thrilled to be part of this, to be honest. What is this slide? Thanks to decentralized infrastructure. Yeah. Oh, that we've been touching on this point already. What this means, but I can talk about some of the specifics and like why using decentralized architecture is advantageous for the engineering team and for the player base. So we were able to build this marketplace in like less than 2 months with a team of 5 engineers, and that was only made possible by the decentralization. Essentially, we didn't have to build our own trading platform. That Serum took care of that for us. We didn't have to build our own item management. Solana took care of that for us. So this is kind of like the open sourcing of online trading, if you want to think about it that way. And it's enabling us to create this game with this massive vision that would otherwise be impossible in a realistic time frame. On top of that, security and reliability are much, much less of a concern. So you know how you jump into a, I'll go back to, I don't know if you guys are playing Path of Exile, but the release 2 weeks ago, it was a complete shit show because you couldn't log into the game. There was like 100,000 person wait queue on the Friday that dropped. And for us, because everything's decentralized, it's not a concern. We're not going to have these, we will have some game servers, but we're not going to have those crazy queue lines that you see from traditional games where everybody's flooding the gates or your items don't work or you can't access your inventory, things like that. Point on this is you can't items, right? Once you own it, and it's part of the blockchain, so it's persistent. It's more persistent than anything else on the world, and unless every computer just vanishes in a puff of smoke, but then we've got bigger problems.
Or unless you die in deep space.
That's right. We sent a team out to Michael Wagner as we were speaking. But you've got these horror stories of someone logging into the game and their item's gone. It's like, well, what happened to it? The hard drive failed. Well, that's not a concern for us either, because your items are on the blockchain. They're super secure. They're super safe. This third bullet point, super cool. So because of the decentralized technology, we're able to build the same game twice, essentially with very little work. And that's kind of our roadmap that we've alluded to already. Right now on the mini game, we're building it out on a web version that's boiled down, has pretty much all of the same mechanics, but not quite as much depth as the 3D Unreal game. It's a little more of a frictionless barrier. There's fewer barriers to entry there. It's a little more frictionless for us to actually develop the game there. So that's what we're starting with. And those two games are going to be the same thing, right? So it's not like the items that you own in the mini game and the missions that you do, the ships that you configure, all of those will translate one-to-one to the full game on release. And yeah, those assets don't require our permission to be utilized at all. It's like I was saying, now that the Discovery Iris sale is over, those items are out of our control. It's an open marketplace. Players can trade them and do with them as they. Yeah. Project. Oh yeah. So, but it's not all roses. So there are some challenges that come along with it. I'm sure you guys are aware, if you're in the crypto space, how much it costs to make a transaction on Ethereum right now. An Ethereum smart contract costs like $500 to deploy, 500 USD. That's kind of ridiculous. And block times are ridiculous in some of these protocols, like Bitcoin. What are block times right now? Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes hours if you're unlucky.
We still love Ethereum.
What's that?
I said, but we still love Ethereum. My DMs
we still love Ethereum.
My DMs are gonna blow up now.
That's right. No. We love Ethereum. The opinions expressed here are not reflective of the greater Solana ecosystem. Disclaimer, TM.
They're patching it. Take it easy, guys.
They are. But my point here is that there's some growing pains. This is such cool tech. It's so brand new that there's some growing pains here. Everybody's experiencing them. We're going through them as well. Solana's taking care of a lot of these problems for us, though, which we're super grateful for. Like I said earlier, 50,000 transactions per second plus. Solana's going to scale super well. Serum is enabling us to make these markets. It's crazy. Yeah. So what is like some of the new stuff we're doing is we're actually writing these on-chain programs in Solana, these smart contracts, to handle the game logic. So not only are the in-game items decentralized, the game logic is decentralized. One of the examples that Jacob likes to bounce around is that you don't actually have to use our application to play the game. You could develop completely a third-party interface to play the game and be able to, because it's decentralized. We're providing the toolkit essentially. We're providing the on-chain programs. We're providing and the NFTs, and then from another issue new in the just because we're working in this crypto NFT space is that decentralization of completely all of these in-game mechanics and assets is infeasible. I'll give you an example, which is like a ship model. The model for one of our in-game ships. It's massive. It's hundreds of megabytes, if not gigabytes, in size. And to store that on chain would just be a mind-boggling amount of money. Storing something small like text is already, it's not cost prohibitive by any means, but it's a concern, and it's something we think about. So right now we're able to store image and audio files on chain using specialized technology like Arweave. That's this. But some of these extremely have to store centralized right now. It's just possible until until the tech catches up with what we're trying to do here. And also, like a large part of the gaming community doesn't really understand crypto and needs to be onboarded to it. I'm sure most of you guys here in chat do, but it's like it's a niche space right now, even though it's going to be the future. And it's our job at Star Atlas to kind of provide an easy way for people to get into that space. So how are we doing that? Well, one of our biggest focuses, in my opinion, is the UI and the user experience. Making that as frictionless as possible, as intuitive as possible. We spend a lot of time thinking about even a single button and how that button works and how that button feels, and making sure that the experience that the user is having in this crypto space is as seamless and feels as natural as possible. In addition, we're trying to solve some of these like onboarding problems with, we're exploring relationships with people like Stardust, the folks over at Stardust who are making essentially item management systems, which kind of fill some of these needs. Those are conversations still in place, and we're currently investigating that. Oh yeah, and also Simplex integration on the website is up and coming. It's probably going to be done within the next week, I would say, and that's going to allow card payments instead of the current flow, which is you buy your assets on a separate site, then you have to load them up into your wallet, and it's too many steps. And Simplex is going to reduce that way hugely. Okay, so yeah, we've kind of touched on what's next. I'll give you a kind of a high level summary of our roadmap and goals. So, and like Wagner was saying, the poster sale is going to end the Rebirth event, and then we're going to be launching the initial versions of the mini game. What that's going to look like is first we're going to be rolling out the ships and ship configuration. Then we're going to roll out ship missions. Ship missions are going to be super cool. Essentially, you're going to have fuel. You're going to purchase some fuel on the marketplace, send your ship out into space, and then you're going to have a chance of success or failure. It's going to come back. You're going to have rewards, and there's going to be like some cool exclusive rewards you can get from some of the harder missions, and a lot of stuff that I really don't want to spoil on call. But I'm excited about it. I'm going to be playing it when I can, when I'm not working. After that, we're looking at rolling out what I was telling you guys about before, the 3D Star Atlas Online, the visualization of our universe, as well as planetary claims, so buying portions of a planet, mining on them, setting up space stations, and then trading those resources and refining them that you get from mining them. Oh yeah, and here's our plug for the hackathon, which is the subject of this call.
The reason why we're here today.
That's why we're here, yeah. So what we're doing for the hackathon is the Star Atlas Arcade, right? The Star Atlas Arcade is it's an online arcade built on chain that Star Atlas is hosting. We're going to provide a permanent hosting for our, community projects which win either prizes or awards in the arcade. And it's right here at the GitHub. We need to update the docs right now to provide some better onboarding information that's coming today. And essentially how it works is you open a pull request. If you're a developer, open a pull request against our repository with your arcade game. It has to be an on-chain program that's a game to qualify during the hackathon event. And we're going to be giving out 3 prizes. I think first place is 10,000 USD. Second place is 5,000. Third place is 3,000. Then we have $7,000 USD allocated to awards. So the awards, I think, are still TBD. Those are in the works. The team is discussing them, and we'll have them finalized today. But essentially, projects can win both prizes and awards, or either. Like, so you can win an award without winning a prize, or win a prize without winning an award. Or if you're a really super cool project, you can win an award and like 4 prizes. But yeah, Star Atlas Arcade, we're super excited for this, and it's our way of kind of giving back to the Solana community, especially the Solana gaming community.
Yeah, maybe just to expand on that briefly, the idea here is that we're developing out our own mini game, but we have a lot of interest from external developers on how they can get involved with Star Atlas and the Star Atlas ecosystem, building on Solana. And so we are sponsoring this gaming track for the next hackathon. And the idea is that you can either incorporate our assets, you can build your own assets, but think of it as, just like an old school arcade that you would walk into, you're going to see our game, our mini game as one of the playable models. And then you're going to see this whole page that highlights some of the top games that external developers have built that integrate all of our assets, or that, that work within the Star Atlas metaverse. So just looking for a way that we can expand our reach into additional Rust developers and people building on Solana.
Exactly. Yeah. That's our hiring plug. So if you're an engineer, we're looking for Solana developers, TypeScript developers, Unreal developers, and yeah, we're hiring right now. So please send your resume to careers@staratlas.com if you're interested. Trying to think if there's anything else. We also are looking for web designers as well. So if you're a web designer, shoot us that resume as well. And here's time for Q&A. So I'm gonna stop sharing the sharing my screen. Let me see how we did on time. Little over, not too much over.
You were great, man.
Michael, I'll ask. Let me ask the first question. We're interested in for this, or are we open to
chain game?
Yeah. It's like a game.
Yeah.
It's a mission.
I'll the one with the opinion here and just say that certain gambling mechanics will likely have to be restricted just for regulatory concerns. People with the models, yeah, we just want people to come to our site, have some fun in some online games.
Oh, it's lagging. Hold on.
But it's because you're calling in from.
I think we're good. I think we're good. Just a second. Everyone let us know when it happens, though. I think we're good. If they yell at us again,
right?
We'll...
The 666 just asked when will it is already. So as soon as our official sale ends, the market is open and players can start trading on it.
A little bit to expand on that.
Oh, hold on. It looks like they're still lagging.
Yeah, hold on. Stop dropping things. All these good.
The full-time sweat.
Hold on. I think we're.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on my end too.
Okay, hold on. My FPS in here says we're good. Alston, sort it out, dude. Thanks. Hold on.
Oh, look on my end. It just cleaned.
Okay, we got like a minute or two left. Hold on.
Minutes, 4 minutes.
Let's drop this. Let's drop the quality here and see if this works better.
On the trading, the sorry, let's we have it's in front of you, mostly because of our internal build, but it's all UI. Out as soon as we can, see really able to post any inventory for sale at whatever price you want. Will items, yeah, kind of like that. All our sale ended. The secondary market got enabled because, again, these markets are on Serum. So if you wanted to tap into the Serum UI to kind of serve, that's enough.
I'm seeing that piece of pretty.
I dropped the FPS.
Maybe let's transition to audio. Would that be all right?
It's more. It's on the Twitch end, not the Zoom end.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Hold on. We might think and okay. It's like might be having FPS issues. FPS 2. Is it bad? I'm seeing better.
We can channel in Discord for people that are interested in they don't have questions that
that's an idea. Today. Yeah, let's try there and so, like left here anyway. See what we can get and what process will be. That's the one benefit right here. When this process is on the Twitch, we'll be fine. We're just pulling the lag as we're doing this.
I have a video close. We can point we want to wrap it up. It's actually a video that came in for them by the name of. You guys, yeah.
Let's check it out.
Okay, yeah, let's do it, and then we'll cut it.
So the metaverse, folks, is going to change the world. The metaverse is going to create will be an incarnation of what expansion, high future. See, there's been this simultaneous human history. We've been extending, conquering more land, exploring more territory, right? More Earth, and then the moon and space. But there's this other expansion, going straight into substrates. Densities of computation can be moved into. We can download or upload our minds into them. We'll become like ghosts in fiction. So the inward expansion is embodied by Star Atlas. Star Atlas is Metaverse, digital means, right? It's going to open the final galactic frontier powered by inner expansion through ones and zeros, a Metaverse to free our minds beyond the pale dot. This is this rock. And Star Atlas, again, is an ontological awakening, in the words of Ross Anderson, a forceful reckoning is might be. It's going to allow a gate beyond the imagination to literally become starlight. This metaverse will augment our minds and augment our world and finally to show ourselves. First, Carl Sagan with self, but so far we had no cosmos. But finally, through the universe, to go. Right? As they say, to go there to know there. Well, you get to go there. I mean, my world by decentralized blockchain technologies will be able to really craft an identity in which they expand beyond their horizons inside the Star Atlas. You will have bleed-through effects into the meat space. If you become successful in Star Atlas, thanks to the power of blockchain, you'll have monetary finances in the real world that will in turn be thrown back into Star Atlas and further expands its universe. So that's where we're heading. Welcome to the metaverse. Welcome to Star Atlas. Because of D.H. Lawrence, may free, brave, reckless. I'm Jason Silva.
That is awesome. That's a great idea. I need to there, and then we're time already, and then we'll figure out what wrong.
The whole rest of the hours.
We got all those announcements in.
Conspiracy questions. Make it lag.
Awesome. So yeah, fine. If you're watching this, just at Star Atlas, there will be links and stuff. Good. Thanks everyone for joining and watching us. Thanks, Michael Wagner. Your name is Jacob.
Great.
Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. And thanks for everyone for sorry about that. It looks like it's better now too, actually, but that's I appreciate it. Everyone have a great day.
Austin.
See you guys.
Star Atlas.